Let me see. Well, hello. As I oh, hi. Well, I decided to make a live stream about this topic. So, welcome. And who else we got? Testify cosplayer and I was trying to do some light thing and it's blinding me, so I have to. I'm trying to get the light a little better, but at the same time I don't want it to blind me, so I can't read what. I guess that's better. Well, as I said, I want to make this live stream about safety and dangers on the road. Well, dangerous things, dangerous experiences, and as some of you know, hello Dave. As some of you know, I've traveled quite a bit in my time, and yeah, I've been to a lot of countries, and I've been in situations where I felt unsafe, especially when I hitchhiked. Welcome to you too, Brenda. Especially hitchhiking. I've had some times where I kind of felt if I think back at the time where I traveled Australia, some of you might have watched the video where I talk about hitchhiking with these well, let's call them Australian rednecks, and that was a fun experience, and I felt pretty safe in their company. It was not like a problem, but I had sometimes when I was hitchhiking down there where I actually said thanks but no thanks when someone wanted to pick me up. You know, standing at the side of the road, you have to trust your instinct, and when someone pull over and offer you a lift, I guess you got seconds to decide whether to go or not. And well, sometimes you just have to say better not. So that have happened to me down there. I just got to think about one time in that was actually in Denmark, where I for sure did something which was not safe. I had been on a trip to the southernmost part of Denmark, and I had gone there to pick up a backpack. Someone borrowed a backpack from me and promised to bring it back, which she didn't do. So first I tried to call her, but I didn't get connection. So I decided, well, never mind, I'm just gonna go there. So it was a Saturday morning. I just put a small backpack. I didn't have my big backpack because, well, she had lent it. So I put a small backpack with just, you know, a little bit of this and that, and I didn't bring a sleeping bag because I actually expected to get to her place in less than a day, and then I could sleep over at her place. She was a friend, you know, so I expected that wouldn't be a problem. The trip to her place, the trip south went okay, and it was a little late. I got to her place in, I think it was like 8-9 o'clock in the evening, and I knocked the door, and she came and opened the door and looked like very surprised. and she had company, and that was all fine. You know, we were just friends and all. And I told her while I was there that I would like to get my backpack. Um, and she just said, just a moment. Went inside, got the backpack, came back out to the door and gave it to me and closed the door. And I was like, well, okay. So, no place to sleep. So I kind of started my way back. And this was summertime, but, you know, it was like 9:30 or something like that. And already starting to get dark. And hitchhiking in the dark, you know, it's just, it's no good, really, because the drivers can't see you and all. So it was just, well, I decided, never mind. Just start to walk and maybe I'll find somewhere where I can sleep. So I walked and walked and walked. And at one point I tried to, I found it was a big furniture shop outside a small town. And I tried to, you know, the entrance to these furniture shops is kind of into the building. So you have this kind of walls on 3 sides and a ceiling and a roof over your head. And I figured, oh, maybe I can sleep here, but I couldn't sleep because, you know, no sleeping bag, no camping mat, no nothing. It was just like, that's no good. So I just put my backpack back on and walked on. And I literally walked all night. And early morning the lights started to come back, and actually that night was a wonderful experience. Just, you know, walking all night, just experiencing. You know, it's hard to explain, but really great thing to do, because you see nature in completely different way. And yeah, it's dark, but still your eyes get used to it. And I very quickly I stopped hitchhiking, and then when cars came, I just stepped away from the road and turned away from the bright light, so that I kept my night vision. And that way I walked all night until morning came. And I think it was like, I think it's been 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, and I had started hitchhiking again because the light came back and the drivers could see me, and a car picked me up. Or a driver stopped and picked me up, and I explained to him what way I was going, and he said, "Oh, that's great. I'm going the same way." And we were talking, and he explained to me he was actually going 50 kilometers. How to say? I was going to a town near Struer, and he was going 50 kilometers further south. So when he dropped me off, I would have to hitchhike the last 50 kilometers. But that was a great lift to get, you know. It was like, wow, that's so cool. And in the morning, you know, when I was talking to him, he told me how far from where I started that during the night I actually walked 50 kilometers. So getting this lift from there to almost home, you know, that was just terrific. So I was very happy, and we were talking, and well, I was tired, obviously tired because been walking all night, and also and that's when it happened, the thing you should never do when you hitchhike. I fell asleep, you know, and it's just a no-go. Well, thank you for that. Yeah, says for a cosplayer, you're right. I'm sorry, I always think in kilometers, obviously, because that's what we use here. But anyway, don't hitchhike and sleep. That's just a big no-no, because first of all, the people who give you a lift, they pick you up to, well, first of all, of course, to help you, but also to get company while driving, because it's a nice thing, you know. If you enjoy talking to people, then you know that's always a great thing. But well, I couldn't help it. I fell asleep, and well, it's not safe either. Obviously, if you sleep while you're in someone's car, you don't know what's going on, and bad things can happen. But anyway, so the trip from where he picked me up, and I think it must have been like, well, I found out later that it was like, yeah, basically 200 kilometer that I've been in his passenger seat sleeping. And he actually woke me up. And when he woke me up, we were outside the house where I lived. And he just kind of carefully tapped my shoulder and said, I think you want to get off here. And I was like, what's going on? You know, I'm completely confused, just woke up. And he was like, yeah, we're outside your house. I was like, but what's going, why are we here? And he was like, well, you had a nice sleep and you had told me where you lived, so I figured I had time, so I would just take you to your house. So this guy actually drove 50 kilometers extra to drop me off, and then he had to go back 50 kilometers to get to where he wanted to go. So it was just like, wow, so wonderful. But at the same time, I realized it was just, oh my gosh, I just broke every hitchhiker rule. I slept in the car of a stranger. It was just, but anyway, luckily this guy was a great guy, so nothing bad came to me. But yeah, that was dangerous, done. Should never do that. Anyway, obviously, the way I'm traveling now, where I'm the driver, and you guys know that I've picked up hitchhikers, a couple of young guys. The place where I picked up those two hitchhikers was, in my eyes, pretty safe, because it was just at the harbor where we were just going on the ferry. So on the ferry, I had the chance to talk to these guys, and they were young guys, and they were students, and during the trip from Jylland to Zealand, where I had the chance to talk to them, I just a second, I just need some water. But during that boat trip, I had all the chance in the world and all the time in the world to talk to them and find out if they were good guys, and they were. So I had no problem taking them all the way. And that's the thing, when I pick up hitchhikers, I tell them what direction I'm going. And in this case, well, I'm going on the boat. You can have a lift across, because that way they save the money. Because on boats here in Denmark, you pay for your ticket for the car, but you don't pay for the amount of people in the car. Usually they say the car plus 5 people or 6 people. So whether I bring hitchhikers or not doesn't make a difference price-wise on the boat. But then on the boat, talking to them, and also in general when I pick up hitchhikers, talking to people, and then in time I can kind of see if they're alright, and then I can tell them where I'm going exactly, so we can find out how far they can drive with me. So that's kind of a little bit of a trick. And then again, Denmark. I've been hitchhiking a lot in Denmark. I've been hitchhiking in other countries too, but Denmark is quite safe. We don't have much problems here in Denmark. Well, at the moment they have quite a bit of problems in central Copenhagen. There's some gang shootings and stuff like that, and that's very, very unusual in Denmark. So that's normally it's very safe country. And when stuff like that is going on, I just stay away from that area. So never mind. Safety. Obviously, driving. Maybe you saw the video from Norway and Sweden where I drive up the very steep and another car come towards me and stuff like that is, and also another place where a big truck kind of steal half of my lane and I had to avoid a collision and stuff. But I guess that can happen, you know, you in traffic, and in traffic you can also always be in situations like that. So, well, that's just natural. I would say the only country I traveled in where I felt in danger, where I felt unsafe and, well, scared, that was years back. I traveled in Romania, and that was seriously scary. And it was in the capital city of Romania, Bucharest, and I had arrived on the train in the evening, and in the train I talked to some other travelers, some as far as I remember, it was a British family, and we had been in the same part of the train, and we had talked about, you know, traveling in this country and all. And my problem was that I did not have any Romanian money. I only had Danish money, because in Denmark I could not change into Romanian money because, well, some technical things about currency. So arriving Bucharest in late evening and only having Danish money, and I didn't have a credit card at the time, I didn't have any possibilities of changing into their money, and because of that I couldn't find a place to sleep, well, a safe place to sleep. So this British family, I believe there was mom and dad and 4 kids, and they said, it's not a problem, we got a hotel with 6 beds, and the 2 little kids, they can sleep in one bed and you can sleep in one bed, and then we can fix it like that. So you go with us to our hotel and stay with us tonight, and then tomorrow morning you can go find somewhere you can exchange money. And again, you know, if you travel and you're open-minded, you will meet great people. And again, safety-wise, it was yeah, everybody know, family with kids, no problem. Not at all. So I didn't have a problem there, so I just went with them and slept at their hotel, and in the morning they woke me up early, and they were leaving because they needed to get on a train very early. But then they told me, just, you know, here's the key for the room, you just have a good sleep, and then when you're ready for it, you get out and then give the key to the reception desk, we paid for it already. So, and I was like, wow, great. So I did, and after I had a good morning sleep and a shower and all, I went out of the room and went to the reception desk and gave the key back, and everything was taken care of, no problem. And I went outside the hotel. Actually, at the reception desk, I asked about a place where I could change money, and they showed me on a map and told me what bus to catch. And I get inside the bus. The bus arrive, and I get into the bus. And right after I get in, 5 or 6 young guys get in and make a ring around me, make a circle around me, all of them facing me. Yeah, there was 6 guys, and 3 of them holding on to each other, and the other 3 starting to grab me and try to find valuables. And they were standing completely close to me, so I couldn't really, you know, push them away or anything. And they were just trying to mock me. Well, I'm not a small guy. I'm 6'2", so the thing was that my elbow height was head height for these guys. So I just started throwing elbows. And when 2 of them had gone down, the rest of them stopped, grabbed the two that gone down and got back out of the bus because the driver kept the door open. He was waiting for these guys to finish. He didn't close the door of the bus and drive off. He just waited. So, as I say, I elbowed that one and elbowed that one, and they went down and they took off out of the bus, and I was safe. And actually, at the same moment I started elbowing, a young guy dressed in military uniform got up in the back of the bus and walking towards us. And maybe that was one of the reasons why they decided to stop trying to mock me, or maybe because I was fighting back, I don't know. But anyway, nothing bad happened to me, and they didn't get any valuables at all. They didn't get anything, because I was wearing a big, this was actually winter time, I was traveling in Romania, so I was wearing a big, very warm jacket, and it was zipped to the top. It was tied round the waist, and my valuables was kept, both my passport and my money and everything was kept in a money belt, one of these very skinny money belts that I kept inside my pants, you know, inside my jeans. So there was no really any way they could, well, yeah, if they undressed me, they would be able to get to it. But anyway, in this case, they couldn't. And as I say, I fought back, so got them out of the bus, and as soon as they were outside, the driver closed the doors and drove off. And this guy in military uniform, he came to me and told me, come sit next to me. I'm very embarrassed about my countrymen, and this shouldn't be like that. And he was apologizing, and actually other people in the bus started to apologize as well. And there was this very supportive atmosphere in the bus after this experience. But people, obviously, they were scared to interfere, but at the same time, but that was a very, very unpleasant experience. But as I say, they didn't get anything, and they didn't hurt me, so they were the ones to get hurt. So that was, I think, for me, in situations like that, most of the time I'm not scared, because, well, I am a big guy, 6'2", as I say, and yeah, heavy as well. So in most cases, I'm too big for guys like that. They don't try to mess with you. I think that's one of the reasons, and maybe also something about confidence. But anyway, it's obviously when there are 6 of them, well, that's kind of a uneven match, but well, I got out of it without problems. I guess when I lived in Thailand, I kind of had to listen to my wife, because I listened to my wife because she said, sometimes she told me that there was places in the town where we lived. It was a medium to big size town, you know, and it was not a tourist area or anything like that, but she told me that there's places in this town that you just don't go in nighttime. At night I could, you know, I would go from the place where I worked. I worked at this language academy, and I would go from there to our house, and I could stop at some takeaway food places and buy food, but didn't go out, you know, to the, well, darker areas of the town and back alleys and stuff like that. I would stay away from that, because she told me it was not safe, and especially because I was a foreigner. For Thai people it wouldn't be a big problem, but as a foreigner, don't go. So in Thailand I did actually feel pretty safe. I didn't have any bad experience with people. Traffic in Thailand, that is for sure not safe. That is, to survive Thai traffic, you can survive anywhere, really. It's, I think I've only seen, and that's only on YouTube, I've seen videos from Russia, And after watching traffic videos from Russia, I decided I'm never gonna go to Russia. It's just too incredibly dangerous, I think. So that's. But yeah, traffic in Thailand is insane. And even though this town was just a medium-sized town, as I've been in Bangkok several times, and in Bangkok I would never drive myself, never ever. I go by bus or by tuk-tuk or by train. Never drive myself in Bangkok. No way. It's just insane. There's so much traffic and they're driving just as they want to. They don't follow any rules, I think. So that's simply too scary. Well, enough of me talking just like this, but if any of you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. You know, that's the good thing about these live streams, that we can, you know, communicate both ways. So feel free to ask any questions about, well, basically about anything, but in particular about safety and safety on the road and safety in general, living the nomadic lifestyle as I do. Just grabbing a little bit of more water. Wow, 8 people now. Yeah, I have to put my head back because I have to look through the bottom of my glasses to see the numbers on the screen. Anyway, living in the nest, as I say, Denmark is very safe country, so I really very rarely have any safety issues here. I've had a couple of times where I park somewhere and young people are hanging out, or young people are partying nearby. There's been one time in Jylling where they were partying down on the beach, and I was parked nearby, and it was kind of, well, loud music and all. There we had a question. I just want to see if I can. Yeah, there we are. Ever coming or ever been to the USA? Alerio. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but you asked about that. Well, I've never been to USA. I would like to go though. I would love to go to the States, and if I do, it is for sure gonna be at the time of the RTR, the Rubber Tramp Rendezvous, because I want to go meet some of, well, other full-time RVers, other rubber tramps. It would be a wonderful experience, I'm sure. But obviously, safety-wise, I got a lot to learn. But no, I've never been there, but I would love to go there and see the country. Obviously, I would love to drive the Route 66 as much as possible. To see that, and also there's a lot of great places I would love to see. So though, as you guys probably know, I'm not really a city person, so for me the getting out of the big city would be the top priority, and then not really going back. Oh, hi Keith. So, but yeah, the countryside USA, I would love to go see, for sure. And as I say, go to the Rubber Tramp Rendezvous and those kind of things would just, that would be great. Maybe even going to Slab City, I don't know, it's that would be interesting as well, I think, so, yeah. But, that's a dream, and that's in the future. I guess I would have to go there and get a vehicle and then just travel because you can't really bring the Nest and the Skoda to USA, so I would need to get something to drive over there. But as I say, that's for the future. It would take a lot of money to do a thing like that, so I have to save a lot of money to be able to. As I said before, partying youngsters, they can make me get out of the Nest and into the car and drive away, you know. But it's not because I don't feel safe. It's more for the noise, you know. It's like, and I don't want to tell them off. Why should I? I can just drive off, find somewhere else to park. And it's happened to me sometimes, you know. I think this summer it happened 3 or 4 times. And then one time it happened, it was youngsters who were, I think there was like 4 vehicles and they were making burnouts and stuff like that. And, you know, again, I just get into the car and drive off and find another place to park. It's not a big deal for me, you know. The Nest is almost always ready to move, you know. I just need to put away a little bit of things and then in 10 minutes I can drive off. 5-10 minutes, and so no problem. I try to think if I've had any. When I drove in Sweden, at rest areas, they actually have signs warning people about sleeping in their RVs in rest areas in Sweden, because there's been incidents where someone had put sleeping gas into the RV, and then when everybody in the RV sleep, they will break into it and steal stuff from them while they're asleep because of the gas. So, and that has happened in Sweden. There have been very few incidents of that in Denmark too, but that is at the big rest areas, you know, with the big freeways and stuff like that. In Sweden, it is also the big highways and the big freeways where things like that happens. Oh, hi, Bill. Haven't seen any comments from you for a long time, Bill. But welcome. So yeah, in Sweden, I was kind of decided I'm not gonna stay at the highway or freeway rest areas. So when we were, well, we did one time when I was traveling with the German guy who lived in Norway. When we were one night we were boondogging at next to a highway, and we were at a rest area, but well, it was quite far north, so and again we were 2 vehicles right next to each other, and also I think that was all right. But when I was alone, I would just drive onto a gravel road and go like 4 or 5 kilometers into the outback. Back to these that don't have much time for you. Ah, okay, yeah. Well, Bill, that's the thing of it. We have to work. That's one of the reasons why I haven't put up any videos for a week. I've been busy at work. So yeah, I know the problem. And holiday season, a lot of people go on vacation, and then the rest of us kind of have to make the shop, you know, function, even though we are like half staff. So, yeah, so I know the problem. But yeah, 5 kilometers onto the dirt road, and then just pull off and stop for the night, and that's fine, because so far away from the highway is no problem. Oh, hi Roy, and welcome. You know, guys, I actually think 10 viewers on a live stream, that's my record. I've never had that many on my live stream, so that's great. Thank you. That's excellent. But I figured Saturday, well, what time is it in the States now? I'm not even sure. It's like 10 o'clock or something here. But yeah, that's I figured it would be a good time. So I guess I was right. But anyway, um, I've been traveling on motorcycle. I've been hitchhiking and all. Oh, sorry. Oh, okay, Roy. What is your first name then? Your given name? Oh yeah, I'm not sure I can pronounce that. Yeah, yeah, I know, Bill. 3:30 in the US. Okay. And Bill, at your place, 2:30. Oh, Mara. Okay. Good. But anyway, when I was long time ago, I was when I was working in Norway, I had an incident where I guess it was not safe. I was working in the mountains at a big hotel, and I had been home. I believe it was just around Christmas, just before Christmas. I went home to visit my parents, and then when I went back to Norway, from the Oslo, where I arrived on the boat from Oslo, and to a town called Gol, where I worked in the mountains above Gol. I arrived in Gol on the train, and I had made a deal with one of my work colleagues that he should come and get me at the train station, and it was like 11 o'clock at night, and I got off the train and looked for my colleague, and well, didn't see him. So I sat down on a bench and waited, and well, it was kind of cold, so I started, so I figured, oh well, maybe he forgot, so I would call the hotel. It was before cell phones, so I couldn't call him. And no one answered the phone at the hotel. So it was like, ooh. So no lift. 11:30 at night. Winter time, December in Norway. Cold, windy, nowhere to sleep. Small town, no hotels, no guest house. Well, I just had to walk. So I started walking up. I knew what way to go, so that was not the problem, but it was mountain roads. Before I left town, I saw this phone booth, and it was these kind of phone booths. They're actually almost sealed. So I figured, oh, maybe I can go inside the phone booth and it will be shielded from the wind. Maybe I can sleep there. It's like 1 x 1 meter, so it's very small, but I can kind of cuddle up and maybe get a nap. But it was too cold, so no, didn't work. And again, I didn't bring a sleeping bag or anything. I'd just been home to visit my parents. I had some extra clothes, and I put on some jumper and some extra socks and stuff, so I could keep reasonably warm. Excuse me. But anyway, I couldn't sleep in this phone booth, and also there was too much light, and so I just got out of it and started walking again, and walking up the mountain road, and I think I walked for an hour or so, and then I passed a sawmill, and in the grounds of the sawmill I saw they had put some bundles of wood, and they put 3 of them, like one here, one right next to, and one on top, and then they put a tarp over the whole thing. So that meant from the one on the top to the one over here was kind of a tarp, and there was room underneath. So I figured, well, that might work. It basically looked like a tent. So at least I would be out of the wind, out of the snow, and it was dark, and well, it was worth a try. So I went into the grounds of the sawmill and went underneath the tarp and up on top of the pack of lumber there, and it was all right. It was a bit hard. Obviously, I didn't have a camping mat, but it was durable. So I put my backpack as a pillow, and then I just kind of, put the hands in my armpits, and I actually fell asleep. And at night, I was later told that it was like -15. And I was sleeping just wearing normal clothes, thick jacket. Okay, yeah, sure. I didn't have any gloves. I was just keeping my hands like this in my armpits. I did have a knitted hat, but it was cold. But I got some hours of sleep, and I think it was like, is it 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning? I started walking again, and I got to a bus stop. In that area, the buses didn't drive at night, but I could see it would be like 15 minutes till the bus started driving again. So I just waited at the bus stop, and I catch the bus from that point and almost the way to the hotel. I think I walked for the last 5 kilometers again from the bus stop to the hotel. So I didn't walk that far, but I slept under a tarp in the grounds of the sawmill in -15, and I wouldn't recommend that to anyone, because sleeping when it's cold like that outside, that is dangerous. But well, yeah, nothing bad happened, but yeah, it was, and in general, all this winter thing. When I was younger, I would drive my motorcycle in wintertime, in snow and ice. And I have no count of how many times I've fallen off. When the bike starts sliding because the wheel grabbed the snow, or, when you have tracks in the snow and all of a sudden the bike just go, the wrong direction. The front go one direction, the back go one direction, and it's just, yeah, so I don't know how many times I've gone down, but, well, I've always come back up. Let me just read the comments. Your LED lights working good? Is it nighttime there? Well, yeah, Bill, it is nighttime. It's, let me just have a look at the time. What the clock? It's 10:37 p.m. So nighttime, yeah, it is. But yeah, my LED lights, I'm very happy about them. Should write a book about all of your great adventures. Well, thank you. Yeah, I've been told that before, but I don't know. It's I guess it's hard to get started. But I thought about it too, so maybe one day I will. I'll let you. Well, hypothermia, that's the thing. I've been driving my motorcycle from, I was living in south of one of the islands, and I had 250 kilometers to my parents' place, and I've driven that trip in minus, I think the coldest I did was -14. And driving a motorcycle, you're exposed to the cold. But I was driving a small East German motorcycle. I had the windscreen in front, and I actually made the windscreen myself. So I had these, like, that covers the hand as well. And I made, I obviously had winter gloves, but at the same time I made some from vinyl. I had attached on the handlebar to cover the glove to take the wind. And wearing a lot of winter clothing, a full suit, thermo jumpsuit, I guess it's called, and big boots with wool socks and stuff like that. But no matter what, after a while you get cold, and when I arrived, the one time I did it where it was -14, when I arrived my parents' place, I couldn't stretch my fingers. My hands were like this, you know, from hanging onto the handlebar, and I had to pull my hands over the end of the handlebar to let go of the bike. And from the knee down, I couldn't feel my legs. They were just frozen. But hypothermia, no. And no frostbites or anything. But when the feeling starts to come back in the legs and the arms and the hands, oh, it hurts so bad. It was when I knocked the door and my mom opened the door, she was like, "What the hell?" And she never swear, but she did. Because I was outside the door and I had to take my glasses off because they were covered in ice. And every now and again I had to stop and pull ice from my eyebrows. So I was looking like an iceman. and she was just like, "What the heck?" And I got inside and got all this big clothes off, and she would take a bucket with not hot water but cold water, and I would put my feet in it and it would feel like it was boiling. But yeah, no frostbites or hypothermia or anything. So I don't know how it works, but right when I get inside, my hands and lower arms would, and same with my legs and my feet, would be completely white. But then after an hour or so, it would be alright and there was no problem. But I guess that's what I'm starting to feel now with I have problems with the knees, some arthritis, and I got arthritis in my neck and the back of my neck and all. And obviously that's from the driving in cold weather and from what I put my body through. And I wouldn't recommend it to anyone, and it's dangerous, like, you know, when you fall over with a motorcycle, even it's a small bike. You know, the bike can hurt you, and obviously the vehicles on the road can hurt you. And also, hitting a tree or something like that can hurt you. But I've been alright, you know. I haven't hurt my body in that way. I never had a bad accident. Janice, hi. And there we got just started writing and put it all together when you are done. Just start writing and put it all together when you're done. Yeah, you're right. I know that's the way to do it, but I don't know. It's maybe, as I say, maybe one day. And Bill, now you can kayak in the winter. Well, yeah. I know people who do go kayaking in wintertime, but then they have dry suits that they put on, and if I can afford it, I will buy a dry suit, and so that I can kayak when winter comes as well. But there's just one thing I need to learn before I do that, and that's to make the barrel roll, or we call it the Greenland roll, the Eskimo roll, because if you roll the kayak in wintertime, you don't want to get out of it. You need to get it back upright. And I don't know how to do that yet, but I have friends who can do it, so I hope I can learn. Dennis Scott from UK, welcome. And then you say, what's your weather like out there? Well, today it's raining, and I think it's like it's not too cold actually. It's been around 18-20 Celsius. I guess that's like 70, just below 60, 70 Fahrenheit. But raining a lot today. Right now it's not raining, and I hope it'll stay like that, because being in the nest when the rain starts, it's so noisy. So, but anyway, that's have you noticed more Danes RVing since you've been on YouTube? Well, Bill, no, I know of a lady who's living in a travel trailer, or not a travel trailer, a camper van, RV. I think it's a class, a small class A or a class C. I'm not sure, but that was actually the guy who helped me when I had the problem with the nest. The guy from the rescue service. He told me that just a couple of months ago, he helped a lady who had a breakdown with her RV, and she was living full time in it as well. So so I know there's a lady who do it, but as far as I know, I'm the only Dane who make videos on YouTube about living in full time in an RV. Bill, yeah, that rescue driver, he was amazing. Really, really incredible guy. I appreciated his help so much. He was really helpful, and I don't remember if I mentioned it in the video, but in my eyes, he was a real redneck, you know, because you saw the first thing he did was to go get that long iron rod to see if he could bend it and fix it for me. And when I say a real redneck, it's in the best sense of the word. Really, it was just amazing. And he helped me back on the road. You know, some of these people, they would say, "Oh, okay, put it on the back of the truck and take it to the repair shop, finish." But this guy, he was like, "No, we need to get you back on the road. You're living in the nest, and you need it." And it was a Saturday, so I would have had to park outside the repair shop all weekend, and that would have been horrible. So yeah, he was really great. So and well, you guys saw that I gave him one of my stickers, and he appreciated it a lot. And so it was really interesting guy. Also, he had a lot of great stories. So yeah, that was great. And then there was another comment. I just yeah, Dennis, rain in the UK. Well, I guess in I know UK and in Denmark, Norway, Sweden, it's been like not a very sunny and warm summer. It's been raining and windy, and so I don't know why it's been like this year. But in Southern Europe, it's been hot. So well, but you know, anyway, the temperature. When the temperature is just around 20 degree, I guess that must be 70 degree Fahrenheit. That's fine for me, because if it's any more than that, it will be so incredibly hot inside the nest that it's just too much. So 70 Fahrenheit is fine for me. It's no problem. But the rain and the wind has just been too much, really. I would like some sunny days as well, you know. But, well, it's the weather. We can't change it, and that's a good thing, I think. So just enjoy it when we can, I guess. And at least it's warm. So no problem there. Philip, I got my sticker. Cheers, chap. Pride of place under my wood bone. Okay. Oh, great, Philip. That's excellent. That's excellent. I'm happy it got to you. So the strange thing is, maybe you noticed that, Philip, that the sticker was sent from the US. That's this funny thing in Denmark. The postal service, it's incredibly expensive to mail stuff in Denmark. The postal service is just horrendously expensive. So if I wanted to send it from Denmark to any country outside Denmark, it would cost me 25 kroner. But to send it from America to Europe cost, I think it was 8 kroner 25. So it's cheaper, a lot cheaper to send it from America to here. It's just incredible. Anyway, more comments. Let me read. I got mine on my cabin. I think I got a picture. Okay, great, Bill. And Dennis, yeah, would like some sun, for sure. Yeah, you noticed, Philip, yeah. It's just, I have a... Well, it's actually one of my viewers who, when I started talking about stickers, who suggested that he could take care of mailing his stickers to North America for me. And he said, because I had helped during the 2004 tsunami in Thailand, then he would like to help me. So he's mailing the stickers. I transfer some money on YouTube, on PayPal to him for the envelopes and the postal, what is called stamps and stuff like that, and then he mailed the stickers for me. And at first I figured he can do North America and that's fine, and then I can do Europe. But then I found out that the posting stuff, stamps and stuff like that in Denmark is just so horrendously expensive that I sent stickers. If someone in Denmark wants a sticker, I take care of it. Someone outside Denmark, even in Sweden, which is right next to us, I will ask the guy in America to send it because it's cheaper. And it's just, well, the Danish postal service is really, very, very expensive, and we have mail delivered once or twice a week, not every day. It was like that in old days. The mailman would come every day, but now it's once or twice a week the mailman come with the letters. So that's just, anyway, that's a different thing. Oh yeah, you have a great mail service in Canada too. Bill say Denmark and Canada have a lot in common. Yeah, well, I don't know about the Canadian Postal Service, but yeah, I don't. But obviously it is hard times for them because not a lot of people send letters anymore. Everybody sent emails and stuff like that. So yeah, obviously that's a problem for them. But anyway, that's the way of it. So let me see, where did I get to? Yeah, driving wintertime, very dangerous. And I have had quite a bit of close calls, and also driving motorcycle in summertime. And driving motorcycle is dangerous. That's it. It's just, and as I say, in wintertime I can't count how many times I've gone down, but it's wintertime. When you have snow, it's not a big deal because you land in the snow and you just have to get away from the vehicles. Lost my train of thought. yeah, you're right, Bill. When I try to, I traveled in Eastern Europe a lot as well, and I've not even, well, I've had some small encounters with but not really felt any threats in Poland. I've had some small encounters with the local gypsies and stuff like that, and people like that, but not really anything where I felt threatened. I just realized I have a story I need to tell, but I'm not gonna do that now because it's too long. About a stay at a campground in Warsaw, the capital of Poland. I stayed in a campground where there was a lot of gypsies staying at the same time, but that's for another video. But I need to make a note of that because that was an interesting experience. But yeah, as I say, never really felt threatened from in Eastern European countries. Beside the thing in Romania, that's really the only times. And as I say, I hitchhiked there, and I've drove my motorcycle there, and yeah, it's been all right. So and also I've driven. Well, I've basically been all over Europe. You know, and never really. Yeah, traffic incidents. Obviously, everybody who spent time in traffic will know that every now and again you have some close calls, and you just have to kind of, well, shake it off and move on. Oh yeah, it's already an hour. Time flies. Truck stops. Yes, we do have. At the big freeways, we have truck stops, and I've spent nights at truck stops. Both I have done when I was driving the motorcycle. I would just, if the weather was dry, I would just park the bike and take my sleeping bag and lay down on a bench and sleep. And if it was raining, there's a very good trick. If it's a rainy night and you need to sleep and there's a truck stop, and well, a mix of a truck stop and a rest area for normal vehicles, there will also be a playground. That means there's a place to sleep, because at playgrounds you have these small houses for the kids to play in, and they have a roof. And well, kids don't play at night, so they don't need it. So when you're a biker, you park your bike, grab your sleeping bag, and go inside this playhouse and sleep. I've done that sometimes, both when I was biking, but I actually also, one time I was on my way back from I've been out of town. I try again. I've been out on town one night, and I missed my train home, and it was like 11 kilometers. That would be like 6-7 miles from this town to my house. And I just saw the back end of the train disappear out of the train station, and I started walking. I always just, I'm like that. If I don't have any other option, I walk. And after walking a little bit, I passed a kindergarten, and this was a Saturday. And in the playground there was this, well, playhouse. And I thought, well, I'm tired, I'm a little bit drunk, and I want to sleep. So I went over the fence. It was just a low fence. Jumped the fence, went into the playhouse and slept. And woke up next morning bright, and the light was back, and I was fresh. So I went to the baker and got some breakfast and catch the train home. So I slept in some playhouses in my time, both on rest areas and well, one time at a kindergarten. Also, one time I was driving from Prague in the Czech Republic, and a friend and I, we wanted to drive home, and we planned we were going to drive from Prague to Berlin, and then we would stop at a rest area and walk and pull the bikes. We were driving motorcycles. We would just take the bikes into the forest and pitch the tent and sleep for the night. But it was like 5 kilometers before Berlin. It started raining, cats and dogs, and pitching a tent in the rain. You know that it's not good. So we just drove on, and well, Bill, I don't know if you guys can see it, but Bill, he right then, you got your own playhouse, the nest, and well, yeah, Bill, you're right about that. I got my own little playhouse here. Anyway, we kept driving because it was raining. We put the rain suits and just kept driving, and I think it must have been, I don't remember the distance, but it was actually, we drove all night. Excuse me. And it just started to get light again. The light started to come back, and everybody who's tried stuff like that know that that's actually the worst time, because then you really get tired. And I was driving my motorcycle behind my friends, and my friend, he was driving his bike, and I was kind of just focused on the rear light, the tail light of his bike. Then at one point his brake light came on, and I registered, my brain registered, oh, his brake light came on, but I didn't do anything. I didn't react. It was just like, and then all of a sudden I realized, fuck, his brake light came on. You know, and I just turned the bike to the side and just avoided hitting the back of his motorcycle, and kept the bike under control, and it was all good. And then I signaled my friend, I actually pointed at my gas tank, because we had agreed that was the sign, I need gas. And it was not really that I needed gas, I needed to sleep. So we drove, I think, like 5 kilometers more, and then there was a gas station, and we pulled in. And I told my friend, yeah, let's put gas and let's go to the playground, because it was still raining. So we couldn't pitch a tent, we couldn't sleep on the bench. But there was a playground, and there was some playhouse or whatever, some things. And we went over there, and in the playhouse there was only room for one person. So my friend went inside the playhouse and sleep. And I just lay down on there was a bench, and I had my rain suit on, and I kept my helmet on. And I just closed my helmet and lay down and slept in the rain. And driving while tired. Now, even in daytime, if I feel sleepy, I stop. I don't care. Even I'm in a hurry, if I feel sleepy, I pull over, put the seat back, take a nap. If I have the nest with me, I park, go inside the nest, take a nap. I'm so scared of driving while tired. It's just so dangerous. So I just don't do that anymore. It's literally the last time I drove tired. So that's not gonna happen again. But it was a very, very near miss, that's for sure. But yeah, that was in Germany. So I've slept in a rest area in Germany as well, and I actually done that other times as well. So and just sleeping on a bench like that, some people would say that is very dangerous, but well, yeah, maybe. I think the fact that we're wearing motorcycle equipment, you know, look with the, yeah, I think that kind of helps a little bit on the safe things. So, but let me read what Bill say. Lisa Burley for that cough. No, I just talk too much. Well, Bill, yeah, you are right. I also think it's at least as dangerous as drunk driving, because you just, you know, on the bike, on the motorcycle, I was so focused on his rear light that, and my brain was, I guess my brain was asleep. I was sleeping with the eyes open, so when he put the brakes on, I saw it, I registered it, but I didn't react, and that is so dangerous. So yeah, don't do it. Driving while tired, driving while drunk, and driving while sick. That's a no-no for me. I've always had the rule when I was driving the motorcycle. I had the rule: not even one beer, not even one drink. If I was gonna drive my motorcycle, 0. And well, driving the motorcycle, you need all your senses to be top. You know, it's just driving the car. I would say 1 glass of wine. It's okay, but then no more, and not right after. I would like wait for an hour or so. So it's and most times I just 0. But anyway, what the time say? 1 hour 11 minutes. Wow. Maybe I should. Well, please, if you have any questions, let's get them. Let me have your questions now, because this is getting it's a very long live stream already. So please ask some questions if you have any. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I am on a Wi-Fi hotspot. I got this small thing. It's like this, and it's actually in the roof, or the ceiling vent here next to me. I put it up at the very top of my ceiling vent to get as good a signal as possible, and usually it's alright, and I think it seems like it's good here. Ah, Philip, you asked if I found out if the battery was the reason for my cough. I asked the doctor that question, and actually the doctor said no. It could be, but she the cough I got now is allergy, and I actually have that. I actually have asthma. Not very much anymore. When I was a kid, it was a lot worse. But back then, when I had a very bad cough and I had a lot of problem with it, I had an infection, and I don't remember the English name for this infection, but it's something that if it's young kids who get this infection, it's very dangerous. So kids get injection to avoid it. When adults get it, they call it the 100-day cough, because, well, it takes 100 days to get rid of it. And it did. It was horrible. But it's not really, it's not a big deal when you're adult. It's just pain in the backside, and you know, you just have to get over it. So it wasn't, she said it was not the battery, but for sure it was a good idea to vent it to the outside, and I've done that. So I put there's a small vent in the battery, and I put a small hose so it's vented to the outside, so it's not a problem anymore. Let's see. Oh yeah, about the nest. I haven't told you guys. That's true. I actually had it fixed this Wednesday, just last Wednesday. I took it to the repair shop where I have my car serviced. I wanted to do it at that place because I know he's an honest guy, and they do a good job. So I took it there. I called him on last Monday, and he told me to bring it Wednesday morning, and then he would have a look at it. And it's it's incredible, this guy, this mechanic, because normally the auto repair shop, they don't want to repair travel trailers, but this guy, he say it's no problem. He can fix a travel trailer too. He'd like to help me, so that's really great, and he did a very good job of it. He heated it and bent it back in the right shape, the part of the suspension that had got bent. So now the nest is top shape again. So, and it only cost me, it would be something like a bit more than $100. So so that was actually very good price. So I'm very happy about that. Let's see what else. Do you have a plan for a winter parking spot? No, I don't have any plans for winter parking. Just last winter I had this this place where I parked in the beginning of the winter, and then I was kind of asked to leave. And this winter I'm just gonna drive around like I do now. So and then I kind of cross my fingers that we're gonna have another mild winter, because a lot of snow and the nest, not a good match. But let's see. I just have to, you know, go with the flow and see what happens. Whooping cough, yeah, that's whooping cough. That could be the name. I totally don't remember. And Dave, you say whooping cough. I don't know. I'm not sure. It completely slipped my mind what it was called. I actually asked the doctor for the English name, and she knew it, but it's gone. And then what you say here, I had it when I was little, last like 3 months. Yeah, that could be it. That could be it. And Odessa, okay. Grant, that's a long way away. Odessa, let's see, that's... Oi. Yeah, but welcome, Grant. What you say, Bill? Ever take your bike to your wipeout spot? Ah, actually, Bill, I am parked at that spot right now. I'm parked in that area where I had my wipeout with the mountain bike. So I have not gone to that place on the mountain bike again. No, I walked that boardwalk, but I'm not gonna ride the bicycle there again. That's for sure. That's for sure. You don't make the same mistake twice. Ukraine. Oh wow, Grant. Impressed. I got a viewer in Ukraine. I didn't know that. And Nova Scotia. Trust you're well and enjoying life. It's good, you know. That cold sounds bad. Bonnie, it's, as I said before, it's actually not a cough. Yeah, it's not a cold. It is some asthmatic cough, and it's nothing serious. It's just, I'm used to it. It's just it's always been like that for me, so I got used to it. It's not a big deal. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Health. That's the thing. As I say, driving the motorcycle in winter weather was for sure not good for the health. And getting older, I'm 50 now, and I'm starting to feel it. That's for sure. From Toronto, living in Odessa. Ah, many great places here in Ukraine. Okay. Yeah, I you know, I would like to go to Eastern Europe one day with the nest and go boondocking. It would be very interesting. I've driven I've driven motorcycle in Poland and in Czech Republic. And I hitchhiked in Poland, and I traveled by train in Romania, and I went on a bus trip with when I started to be a teacher. I went on a bus trip to Latvia with my fellow students, and that was very interesting as well. It was just after the collapse of the Soviet Union, and they were a very young nation at the time, just got their freedom back, you know, and it was like, wow, that was very interesting. So for sure, Eastern Europe is that's a place I would like to go sometime in the future, but obviously I do have some safety concerns about driving the Nest to Eastern Europe. I think Eastern Europe would be for me after I get a van. And I guess I just revealed something I haven't talked about. I have a plan that I want to save up money, and then I want to sell my Skoda and get a van, because this summer driving 3,800 kilometers with the Nest after my car, it is a hassle. Also about parking, the whole thing is more than 9 meters long. The Skoda and the Nest together, you know, and it's just, you know, it would be so much easier with a van. So I actually have planned that I'm going to make that change somewhere in the future, within 1 or 2 years or something like that. Also because obviously the Nest is a travel trailer made for vacation. It's not built for living full time. So it will wear out, if so to say, you know. I start to see signs of the Nest getting old. Not age-wise, but you know, it's taking a beating. Last year I drove between 15 and 18,000 kilometers with the Nest. That's more than most travel trailers drive their entire life. So let me see, there was a lot of comments I didn't read. Yeah, it is a lot easier with the van, Phil. I'm sure it is. A playhouse van. Yeah, you're right, Phil. The roads are bad. Potholes galore, otherwise safe. Okay, yeah. We bought a small camper van it's much easier to park and move around the UK. Yeah, Dennis, I totally agree. And that is my feeling as well. And I think if whether I should get a small camper van or get a van and then convert it into a camper van myself, I haven't really decided, but I think it'll, yeah, I don't know, I haven't decided yet. Maybe I will decide when I see the right van, you know. It's just like that, you know. And let's see, Ronnie, what you say? I'm Swedish and I have always wanted to start a YouTube channel with the name Nomadic Swede, but you came first. Would that be okay with you? Sure. Nomadic Swede, Nomadic Dane. It's no problem. And if you do decide to start a YouTube channel and start to drive full time in an RV, let me know if you have any questions. After all, I've been doing this for more than a year now, so you're more than welcome to contact me. And also, when you start driving full time like that, I would love to meet up. I already have talked to. Oh, that's embarrassing. I completely forgot your name. There's a Swedish lady. I will write it somewhere. But there's a Swedish lady who drive around a small motorhome and living full time as a traveling nurse. And she's living full time, as I say. And I have we have talked about we're gonna meet up one day. So the more the merrier. That's for sure. Small old diesel Hummer. Yeah, Grant, that is one option for sure. That is great, Ronnie. Full time in an RV next year. Okay. And what you going, Ronnie? What are you going to do about income? Now I don't know how old you are, if you are a pensioner or retired or whatever, but it sounds very interesting. That's for sure. I called my old Ford Transit high top. It was not pretty, but functional and cheap. Exactly. That's the thing about the vans. You get very good mileage on them. Oh, you also have a normal job, just like me. That's great, Ronnie. That's really good. Oh, there you are. I just talked about you. One woman nomad. That is the Swedish lady I just talked about. I'll try to read the name. One woman nomad, RV life. There you are. Yeah, I just talked about it because Ronnie, another Swedish person, just told me that he is going to go full-time RVing next year. So I mentioned you, that I know you, and we have talked about meeting somewhere someday. And I told Ronnie that I wanted to meet with you one day. So that is great and excellent. And now I guess everybody knows there's a Swedish lady. We will meet, yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. Just need to find a weekend where we don't have to. Well, maybe you get near Malmö or Helsingborg or something like that. Then for sure we can meet up. It would be a lot of fun, I'm sure. And then if Ronnie want to meet up as well, then there are three of us. Was waiting for another storytelling video. We still juggle over the hitchhiking video. Now we think you need a Bonnie, I'm alright. I got a big tank. Another channel to follow. Yeah, for sure. I'm sure it would be a lot of fun to meet the three of us, you know, and I'm sure that Ronnie could get a lot of good advice from the two of us. Let me just check the time, because actually I'm going to work tomorrow. Oh, it's almost 11:30. Excuse me. Let's see. For sure, we will give you a lot of good advice, Ronnie. Oh, next week. Okay. I thought you wrote. So already next week. Ronnie, you need to start a YouTube channel. It's just, you need to start a YouTube channel. You got your first subscriber here. That's for sure. Let me know. As soon as you got the channel up and going, you send me a link. I'll subscribe to you. So Bill, yes, it is water. Water with bubbles, you know, carbonated water, and a little bit of citrus for the throat. But yeah, I was just about to end this broadcast, but now I got 17 viewers. It's just like, how can I end it? I don't know. Oh, it went back to 14. Well, 14 is still a lot. Well, if it's okay with you guys, I'm gonna go on for another half an hour. So, let's see. Let's see. It's still, is that, yeah? I subscribe to, okay. So Ronnie, yeah, obviously you got the channel when you can comment on my video. Well, Ronnie, I'm gonna subscribe to your channel right after this broadcast. That's for sure. I guess I will know when you get videos up then. So, but yeah, you need to start start making videos about full-time RVing and, you know, preparing. So Ronnie, you got the travel trailer. What you got already? Something to live in, I guess. Bill, tomorrow I start work 10 o'clock in the morning, but usually I go to bed around midnight and I wake up 6 o'clock in the morning. So okay, emptying your apartment now, yeah. So how do you feel about getting rid of stuff, or do you put it in storage? That's the downsizing thing. That's usually one of the difficult tasks for full-time RVers. It's one of those things where you kind of, you know, have to make the real decision when you start to downsize. Excuse me. I guess next time I make a live stream, I need hot tea. You're getting rid of everything. Not easy, but it feels nice. You are so right about that, Ronnie. And you know, when the day you move into your RV, and well, it's just so, yeah, I don't know how to describe it, but it's just freedom. It really is. You know, the more stuff you got, the more tied down you are. It's horrible. So get out there on the road. You got storage, stuff in a storage of 1.5 times 1.5 meter. Yeah, I have some paintings at a friend's place, and I think I got one box with the old vinyl records, and that's basically it. So how did I learn to speak English this well? Well, I lived in Thailand for 6 years, and I was married to a Thai/Chinese person for 12 years, and we spoke English to each other. I was teaching English when I lived in Thailand, and I always enjoyed English, the English language. When I was a student, it was basically the only thing I was interested in studying. That was English. And then also in Denmark, we watch a lot of American and English and Australian movies, and we watch them with subtitles. So we are used to listening to English. And after a while, for me at least, I didn't read the subtitles. I just got used to listening to it. And then traveling a lot and, yeah, practice. I guess that's how I got my English to the level where it is now. Uh, the water won't last another half an hour. Well, you're right about that, Philip, but I got another bottle right here. I buy 6 bottles at the time, so I'll be alright. Okay, Ronnie, great to talk to you. I'm sure that we will meet, the 3 of us, and if we find any more, you know, I've been thinking about this. If we find any more European or you know, European full-timers, we need to make kind of an RTR in Europe. It would be great. So take care, you too, Ronnie. Yeah. No. One woman nomad. I hope you agree, and Ronnie too. We need to make an RTR in Europe. That's or at least in Scandinavia. It would be the thing to do. So and I know another. I think I know 1 or 2 people in England who also are full timers. So yeah, we have to start a network for sure. We have to. So you know, we are so few people who do this in Europe. So we have to, you know, maybe. Oh, that's the thing to do. At first, we need to make a Facebook group. I don't really use my Facebook much, but we need to make a Facebook group about full-time RVing in Europe. That's I will have a look at this. I got an idea now. So, but anyway. Okay, Grant. Sorry. Take care of yourself, Grant. I will have a look at the Facebook thing if I can fiddle up something about a Facebook group. I don't know how to do it, but I'll find out. I'll find out and let you know. So we will make a. I'll see if I can do that. I make a Facebook group for full-time RVers in Europe. That would be excellent. So I think I can have a look at that tomorrow actually. So anyway, that was a little bit of Scandinavian interaction here. That's excellent. That's really great. We need to spread the word. Minimalist full-time RVing is just the way to do. It's the way to go, really, and there's so few Europeans who do this, so we need to spread the word. And we need a network, just like you guys in America and yeah, in North America, you have this meetups and stuff like that. We want that too. It is awesome living the full-time RVing life. It is. It's just, yeah, the freedom is just incredible. It really is. So I just need to see. I just. I just check. I had some comments. I just needed to check. Okay. Anyway. Let's see. Don't know if there's many full-time RV in the UK. Dennis, I don't know if there is, but I know a couple. Well, one of them, he's not really full-timer yet. I think he's going to be. He got a small travel trailer. The other one, he is getting ready to become full-timer. He's setting up a van, or a small truck. Actually, it's not a van, it's a small truck, a small box truck that he's setting up to become a full-timer. Philip, I want to go full-time and work from my van, but it'll be a squeeze. Well, yeah, I would love to do that as well, Philip. Right now I have some debt I have to pay off first, and when I get that out of the way, it will be easier. That's for sure. But that is my future plan as well, to be able to be a digital nomad or something like that. It isn't completely legal in UK, but you can get around it. Well, I don't know anything about that actually. If there's any law-wise problems in the UK about living full-time. Yeah, your laws are different. Okay, yeah. How is it in Sweden actually? Do you need to have an address? In Denmark I can get around it, and I don't have an address at all. On my on my health security, health insurance card, it say address unknown. And in Denmark that is totally legal, but I don't know in other countries in Europe. It is legal in Sweden, but need an address. Yeah, that's the thing. In Denmark, I looked into it, and if I don't live on the address, if I don't live in that place, sleep most nights in that place, that's the way it's written, then I cannot have an address in that place. And that's why I ended up without any. In Sweden you have to have it, yeah. And in Canada also you need an address. The thing is, in Denmark, all communication between the government, the local government, the insurance companies, and all kinds of stuff like that, all communication can be done electronically. So when they want to send me something, it's sent to a digital mailbox, and then I got a special password and a password key to log into that digital mailbox and check my digital mail. It's very safe and it's easy, so that's why it's possible in Denmark. And then, as you say, it's the same over there too. Yeah. The digital, how to say, Denmark is very, very digitalized. I would say at least 80%, maybe even more, of the people in Denmark have internet. Even old people have computers and internet. And all communication between the text department and everything like that is done digital. Only very few people don't have it, and they still can get the paper mail, but most people are digitalized. So, and actually, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here is it. Here it is. Here's my my digital. It's like a digital password generator for my when I log into this digital mailbox. Then this one create a password, plus I got a password in here, so that way, and then my social security number as well, and those three things have to match, and then I can log in. So very safe. Let's see. Here it doesn't matter where you live, but the state must be able to send me a letter. Yeah, send you a letter. Yeah, we can have a PO box as an address. In UK. Oh, Dave, yeah, I talked about that. I realized that's you with the van or with the small truck. In UK, need a post address for driving license, insurance, and registration. We now have some car park where we can stop overnight. Okay. Yeah. So, Dave, how is it going with the truck? Are you gonna move into it soon? You don't make a lot of videos. I know you're busy with all kinds of stuff, so but it's very, very interesting project you got going there. I've been thinking about a box truck. It would need to be a small one because I only have driver license for a small car, a normal car. So, but I've been thinking about a box truck too. But anyway, the address thing, yeah, it is special. And actually, when I went to the local government to register that I moved out from the house and into the nest, the lady I talked to didn't know that it's legal to have no address. At first she said, but you need an address, you cannot do like that. And I studied the law before I did it, and I actually sent her an email, but she hadn't read it yet. So I told her to go read my email, and there was a link and some stuff. And she was gone for 15-20 minutes, and she came back and she was like, well, I guess it is legal. So that was kind of fun. Plan is to be on the road March 2018. That is excellent, Dave. And I think I wrote this to you before, Dave. We are going to meet up as well. And if we could, I know you talked about going to Poland or something like that in your truck, but I'm getting more and more. If we make this well, European RTR or something like that, we need to stay in contact. That's for sure. So anyway, that is it's been a very, very interesting for me. This have been a very, very interesting live stream because I just well, we are gonna make a network of European full-timers, that's for sure. Wow. It's yeah, I'm excited. I really I'm very excited about this. Oh well. I say you won't be talking all week after this. Well, Bill, that's the thing. I work in a shop. I'm a salesman. I talk all day. So, but when I'm at work, I always have a thermos with hot tea. So when I get problem with the throat, I can just go take a cup of tea. That helps a lot. I need to remember to do make a pot of tea next time. Well, Philip, yeah, sure. If we do make the kind of RTR Europe, it will be for full timers and wannabes. That's for sure. And also, if I make the full timer Europe Facebook group, it's wannabes are more than welcome. That's for sure. We need to. As I said earlier, we need to get the word out. Sales may not be sales may not be good this week. I'll be alright. I always talk a lot. That's no problem. Anyway, this live stream kind of turned from safety on the road to well, fellow European RVers I don't know that one, Dave. The Dutch channel, full timer. No, I don't know that one. If you can send me a message with the link to that one, that would be great. But if you can, a real what do you call it, a private message or something like that, or a comment on one of the other videos, because I'm not sure I can see these comments after I finish. And Dennis, you are a wannabe too. That's great. It's, well, I would say it's not that difficult, really. Now, Dave, I figured that you have family, and I know if you have kids who go to school, it does make it more difficult, obviously. But it is doable. Well, I follow on YouTube, I follow Exploring the Local Life, and they are a husband and wife with 2 little kids traveling the States in a travel trailer and doing homeschooling. So it's fully possible. I know not all countries accept homeschooling, but, well, actually Denmark do. If I don't know about Sweden, England, I don't know. And Bill, you say I'm half wannabe. I just finished working away from home for 3 months and stayed in my trailer. Okay. That's great. So you are kind of, well, not full-timer, but you do stay in an RV for longer periods of time, Bill. That's great. And Philip, you're in a labour in Wales at the moment. You all made my evening great. Oh, that's great. That's excellent. And thank you. That's very nice of you to say so. Just want to check. There was another. It's not here yet. That came. Well, can't see it. Anyway. Okay. So in 5 years you retire, Bill, and then you're gonna go full time. That's great. You love to travel, but you have to look after the grandchildren. Well, grandchildren can stay in an RV as well. Maybe their parents not all that keen on that, but no, I see your point. I see your point. It's okay. Yeah, I know, Bill. I have to pay for everything. That's my thing too, and well, I just have to stay around this area so I can work my job for now. And yes, small grandchildren love the RV. I'm sure they do. And Dave, you say you're single and work is flexible. That's the way to go, really. It is. And as you guys know, I'm single as well for the moment. So, and no, well, never know what the future brings, It's so, but yeah, the free life on the road is just so precious. It really is. It's a wonderful lifestyle, and as I used to say to my colleagues, when we knock off from work, when we leave in the evening, they're like, sometimes I ask them, so what you going to do tonight? I have to go home and lawn the what do you call it? Mow the lawn, or they have to paint the garage or whatever, and do laundry, and feed the kids or you know, stuff like that, and clean the house and all these kind of things. And I'm like, I think I'm gonna go park at the seaside and enjoy myself, maybe go for a trip in my kayak, or, you know, and it's just, the freedom. How long we been talking? Well, it's almost 2 hours now, so, Bill, it's the longest live stream I ever made. Ah, too bad, Dennis. Too bad. He had to do all that too. Well, yeah. Today I had to do laundry as well, but I don't have to mow the lawn. I don't have to paint the house and stuff like that. But as you guys know, I do a lot of DIY projects in the nest. So, but I enjoy that, and still, I can do it with a great view. And if I don't like my neighbor, put the key in the ignition and find a new one. That's the best thing about it, really. You know, it's just a new view every day. You know, and also I actually enjoy the thing when I'm at my workplace, and you know, maybe half an hour before it's time to go home from work, I start to think, you know, where do I want to park today? And I look out the window, and how's the weather? Is it weather to park next to the sea so I can go kayaking, or, you know, stuff like that. And it's just, and some people, they say, oh, I would get stressed out if I didn't know where to park, where I sleep like next tonight, and stuff. And I think I enjoy it. It's great. I really do. And even today, when I left work today at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I had decided I wanted to go do laundry. And then when I finished do laundry, I decided to go park at this place. So it's not, you know, it's not something I plan in advance. It's just kind of, yeah, I just do it. And I love that. Just, you know, take it as it comes. So that is the best way of living, for sure. Ever thought about buying a little chunk of land to park on? Well, Bill, I thought about it, but no. You know, I want the wheels. I want to move around. I got, is it someone, I heard someone say, I got itchy feet. You know, I need to move around, and I don't want to get stuck. Last winter, when I was asked to leave the spot, the winter, the what did I call it? The home base, the winter home base. When I was asked to leave that place, at first I was kind of too bad, but already the next day I was like, oh, it was liberating. It was just, it felt good. It felt right, you know. So I was actually happy that I left the place. It was a nice place and all, no problem, but it just felt better to be on the road again. So no, maybe in the future, no, who knows. And I'm not gonna move into a house again. If I'm gonna do anything on a piece of land, it's going to be a micro home. That's and I'm gonna build it myself. And what you say, Dennis? Roll on September, grandkids go back to school, so we can go on some short trips. Oh, that's great, Dennis. park the trailer and then use a van to go for short trips. Okay, yeah, Bill, that's another way of doing it, and that is an option as well. Using the trailer the same way as tiny house preppers they do, as a tiny house, and then could get a van to go for trips, and that would be for sure be a great option. I have also thought about if I want a tiny house, to get a shipping container and build into a tiny home. That would be a fun project. But well, I like projects, but for sure I would still need, as you say, a van or something so I could get out on the road again. Don't want to get stuck. Maybe, I don't know. It's maybe I'm gonna get a plot of land somewhere, a small piece of land somewhere in a great nature area, and I do not even know what country. Excuse me. I do not even know what country or anything, but well, only time will tell. So, let's see. Anyway, now it's been 2 hours, this broadcast. I think I better stop for now. I also need to get ready for bed. It's 5 to midnight now, so I think it's time to go sleep soon. I just want to say to everybody, thank you very, very much for watching this live stream. I appreciate it a lot. It's been fun. Well, yeah, Bill, you are right. If I get a little bit bigger piece of land, then all my friends can come to boondock it. No matter what size the land is, my friends are always welcome to come boondock. That's for sure. But as I say, I better go sleep soon. So thank you very, very much for watching this live broadcast, and I will for sure make broadcasts like this again, no doubt about it. And you guys take care, and life is good. So bye bye, sleep well everybody. Thank you, Dennis. Yeah, everybody. Bye bye. Bye bye.